Hi everyone, I'm Jan, and in this video I want to tell you about my round the world trip and the minuses of the round the world trip, because in the previous video I was telling you how wonderful it is and it's a great experience and the journey of a lifetime, and in this video I will tell you a little bit about the bad side of it. So number one, I think the hardest is you making a round the world trip. We made it nearly for a year, and it's very hard to go for such a long time, especially not see your friends, not see your family. I mean, I've been traveling since 2008, but we would usually of course go somewhere for like a month, couple of months, and then we will be going back and see our friends and families. But here on the round the world trip we went for nearly a year and we haven't seen anyone for a very long time. So I think that's the one of the hardest parts, because you're missing the birthdays, you're missing the other holidays, so you don't see your familiar faces and you're not celebrating anything and not sharing the happiness of the events with your friends and families. And I think that was one of the hardest and saddest part, is to be away for so long from the family and friends, of course. So that's, I say, the number one. So number two is actually getting tired, because again, when you travel slowly, let's say you go somewhere for vacation for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, you just relaxed usually. Yes, you go in and you see something, you go on a tours and then you're resting. But when you do round the world trip, you don't have time to rest. You are just going and going and keep going. You just like want to see everything, and usually you don't have enough time. And so that's why you have no rest, and you're getting like really tired. And sometimes you think, maybe I'll just stay in a hotel and just sleep all day, because it's so hard. Get up very early, go somewhere, see something, and then come back and late, and you want to go and do some nightlife too, to go to the cafes, bars, nightclubs, and then next day you have to go again and see something else, because soon you have to leave this country and you're going to the next one, so you want to see mostly everything. So that was a bit of the hardest part of the trip, I would say. It was number two. Number three, some unexpected things could happen while you're traveling on the round the world trip. For example, we had agreement with our friends that we can stay with them for a month or something, and unfortunately when we came, at some point they told us they can't accommodate us for all the time. So that was unexpected, because we had no booked any hotels, any accommodation, so we had to find the last minute somewhere to stay. So something like this can always happen. I mean, we didn't have any problems with the hotels, or the other flats we booked never were cancelled or anything, but the unexpected stuff like with friends or something like this can happen during your trip. And of course the other stuff which can happen, this is exactly what happened in our trip, is we lost one of our family member. That's why we had to reduce our trip and come back early, as originally we wanted to go for the whole year, but we had to come back a bit earlier, like a couple of months. And so these things, unexpected, something can happen when you plan everything, you pre-book everything, and something happens, you have to go back home. That's the one of the downsides of the round the world trip. This can happen. So this was number three. Number four, that's probably goes to the couples where one of them have to pack the bags. So I'm the packing bags lady. I've been traveling with my husband, but all the bags I do pack myself. So I pack for my husband, I pack for myself. That was a bit hard, because traveling from one hotel to another hotel, from one country to another country, you have to pack and pack all the time. And it was really hard, because you do know that you need to iron the clothes, you need to wash it also and dry it, and that was one of the problems. It was definitely. And another thing is also when you go for such a long trip, you need to take a lot of clothes with you, I would say. Well, if you're not planning to buy anything while you're out there. Except this is also the problem, because anywhere you go, you want to buy more. You want to buy souvenirs, you want to buy some other clothes, but you have not enough space in your cases. And obviously you don't want to travel with 25 cases all over the world, right? So that was the problem, to pack the bags. So we had to pack for summer climate, for winter, for spring, for autumn, because of course in some places we were going it was cold and we needed to wear something warm like boots, and some places were really hot and we needed to wear something very light like light dress, shorts and sandals, or in cold weather we needed jackets and sweaters. So that's it makes cases very big and heavy, honestly, believe me, and it's very hard to buy anything else like souvenirs to take also with you, because it puts more weight, and you know the weight limitation on airlines is 23 kilos per person, so it's not enough, it's definitely not enough. So that's the main issue, I think, because when again you go somewhere just in one place, you can take half empty cases, you know what to expect, what weather will be roughly. You take maybe like one, two, something warm if you're going in a hot season somewhere, you know it's going to be hot. You take something warm maybe just in case, but you don't need to take boots, like, right, or very warm jackets or something. But on a round the world trip, you go in different countries, and all year you do need to think about different clothes which you need to pack with you. It's a downside, one of the downsides, I would say, of the round the world trip. Okay, and I think the last one I would say is the problem could have been a communication. We had this problem quite often. We didn't have internet. That's why some of you are saying, oh, your videos took so long to go through. It is because of lack of the communication. When you're going again on such a long trip, we didn't have like any packages, phone. I mean, like you usually have, wherever you live, you have a phone with internet, prepaid or something. But when you go on a round the world trip, it's just impossible to do. It would cost a lot of money. So we would always go and use internet, of course, and to use free Wi-Fi. And it's very hard, and in some places even using some, you know, the internet cards and stuff, you don't even have internet. There is no good signal, and it's sometimes it was very hard, especially when you work and from the internet and you need to do something. It's becoming a problem, and especially when you go somewhere in the places where it's something really cool and interesting, and you know, in like jungles and deserts, on mountains, you don't have internet. You don't even, some places you hardly can get phone signal. So that was another issue when you have to go and you might stay for a few days without communication at all, and that was a little bit of downside. But as I say, still, no matter, so I think that's all the main issues, I would say, main minuses, what I would think of. I just told you, and you know, no matter what, with all these downsides and minuses, it still was a great experience. I love it, and I'm happy we made it, and it will always be one of my greatest achievements, and the dream come true, I would say. Probably if I would be asked if I would want to go again on a round the world trip, I would think would I want to do it again or not. I would love to go, probably, but with a better communication maybe, I don't know, it just depends. I would love to go, but I think right now I would prefer still to go just to go one country for a month, stay there and learn more about the culture and about the other places and traditions, and have a little bit more rest, so you're not stressed and you're not tired. And I think that's the way I would do it this way, because I've done it already, so it's like, okay, I've done it, it's cool. And do I want to do it again? Maybe. But that's all what I wanted to say, guys. I hope you really like this video too, and if you do, don't forget to subscribe, and bye everyone.